Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight from the heart. When you learn to focus only on yourself, that's when life changes. Too many people spend their days scrolling, comparing, and worrying about what someone else is doing. But you'll never win that way. You've got to make a decision that from today forward, your energy belongs to you, not your critics, not your doubters, not your followers, you. Because when you focus on yourself, you stop chasing attention and start building greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that can completely change the direction of your life. The power of self-focus is the foundation of personal success. When you learn to focus entirely on yourself, everything begins to shift. The world around you starts to make more sense because you stop living according to other people's opinions. You stop letting their judgments decide your worth. You stop letting their expectations limit your potential. The moment you say, I'm going to focus on me, that's the moment you begin to build a life that truly belongs to you. See, most people spend their energy trying to fix what's outside of them. They want to fix their relationships, their surroundings, or their circumstances, but they never take the time to fix themselves. They forget that success, happiness, and peace all begin from within. You can't change your life until you change your mindset. You can't lead anyone else until you learn to lead yourself. You have to make yourself your greatest project. That means looking in the mirror and being honest about who you are and who you want to become. It means understanding your strengths and being willing to work on your weaknesses. Self-focus isn't selfish. It's necessary because when you pour into yourself, you create something stronger to pour into others later. Too many people have it backward. They give all their energy to other people and leave nothing for themselves. But if your cup is empty, you can't pour into anyone else. You can't lift someone up when you're running on empty. You got to fill your own cup first. That's what self-focus does. It gives you strength, clarity, and direction. You see, success isn't built overnight. It's built in the quiet moments when you're focusing on your craft, on your growth, and on your purpose. It's built when you decide to spend your mornings working on your goals instead of checking what everybody else is doing. You've got to stop comparing your journey to someone else's highlight reel. Their timeline isn't yours. Their success doesn't take away from yours. Focus on building your own lane. Focus on staying true to your own vision. Because the truth is, you will never reach your highest potential trying to chase someone else's dream. Focusing on yourself also means protecting your peace. It means setting boundaries that keep you from being drained by negativity. You can't grow in chaos. You can't become great when you're the mindset of successful people surrounded by distractions. There will always be noise around you. People talking, criticizing, judging, but you have to learn to tune it out. The most successful people in the world aren't the loudest. They're the most focused. They learn how to protect their attention because your attention is your most valuable currency. Wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. If you spend your time focusing on problems, you'll live in frustration. But if you focus on progress, you'll live in growth. You've got to get comfortable being alone. That's where you hear your thoughts, your dreams, your purpose. That's where clarity comes from. Don't be afraid of solitude. Embrace it. In those quiet moments, you'll find out what you truly want, not what the world told you to want. You'll start realizing that the person you've been searching for all along, the one who can change your life, is already inside you. You just have to focus enough to bring that person out. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, if you put as much energy into developing yourself as you do worrying about what people think of you, you'd be unstoppable. If you spend as much time learning, growing, and grinding as you do comparing, you shock the world. Because every minute you invest in yourself compounds into strength, wisdom, and power. Self-focus creates transformation that can't be faked. It makes you confident not because people approve of you, but because you finally approve of yourself. So today I challenge you. Shift your focus inward. Make yourself the priority. Build your habits. Sharpen your skills. Protect your peace. And chase your vision like your life depends on it. Because it does. You only get one life, and you deserve to live it at your full potential. The world will catch up later, but for now, lock in. Focus on you because the power of self-focus is the beginning of everything you've ever dreamed of becoming. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something that most people don't realize until it's too late. People waste a lifetime comparing themselves to others. instead of improving themselves. Every single day, millions of people wake up and immediately start measuring their worth against someone else's highlight reel. They scroll through social media looking at pictures, cars, vacations, and followers, and they start to believe that they're behind in life. But let me tell you the truth. You are not behind. You are on your own timeline. The problem is not that you're not doing enough. Is that you too focus on what others are doing? The moment you stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own growth, that's when real success begins. Because comparison is the thief of joy, and it will rob you of the energy you need to become who you're meant to be. When you're constantly watching someone else's journey, you forget to live your own. You forget that everyone's path is building inner strength and self-belief different. Some people start early, others start late. Some people rise quickly, others take their time. That doesn't mean one is better than the other. What matters is that you keep moving forward no matter how long it takes. You see, when you compare yourself, you set yourself up for disappointment because you'll always find someone doing better than you. There will always be someone richer, more famous, more talented, or more successful. But that doesn't mean they're happier, and it definitely doesn't mean they're more fulfilled. You don't know what battles they're fighting behind the scenes. You don't know the pain they had to endure to get there. That's why focusing on others is a waste of energy. You're comparing your behind the scenes with their finished product. You got to understand that your real competition is not other people. It's the person you were yesterday. If you wake up every day trying to be better than who you were before, that's the only race you need to run. Because when you improve yourself, when you work on your habits, your mindset, and your discipline, your life naturally improves. You don't have to chase success. Success begins to chase you. The people who achieve greatness aren't the ones comparing. They are the ones preparing. They're focused on their purpose, their growth, and their mission. That's why they stand out. Every minute you spend envying someone else is a minute you could have used to build something for yourself. You could be learning, training, growing, or creating. But instead, too many people get trapped in the cycle of jealousy and comparison. They start doubting their abilities, questioning their worth, and losing their motivation. And all that does is slow you down. You can't grow when your eyes are always looking sideways. You can only grow when your focus is straight ahead. The truth is, everyone has a different story. Some people are blessed with resources, some with talent, others with pure grit. What you have may not look like much now, but if you water it, if you nurture it, it will grow into something powerful. Don't despise small beginnings. Don't underestimate the value of your process, because while others are showing off their results, you're quietly building your foundation. And one day, that foundation will be the reason you rise higher than anyone expected. You have to trust your timing. The universe doesn't make mistakes. The opportunities meant for you will never miss you, but they require your preparation. They require you to stay focused on your lane. Because when your time comes, you don't want to be unready just because you were too busy watching someone else. Life is not about who gets there first. It's about who stays true to the journey. So stop comparing and start improving. Don't let someone else's chapter 20 make you doubt your chapter 2. Your story is still being written. Every day you focus on your own growth. Every time you choose progress over comparison, you move one step closer to your potential. And one day, those same people you used to compare yourself to will be looking at you wondering how you did it. You did it because you stopped looking at them and ignored negativity, and doubters started working on you. Ladies and gentlemen, true transformation begins the moment you stop seeking validation and start working in silence. You see, too many people are obsessed with being seen instead of being built. They want recognition before they've done the work. They want applause before they've earned it. But real growth doesn't happen in the spotlight. It happens in the dark when nobody's clapping for you, when nobody's paying attention, when it's just you and your grind. The loudest person in the room might get attention, but it's the silent worker who gets results. You've got to learn to be okay with being unseen for a while, because that's where the foundation of greatness is laid. The world doesn't need to know every step you're taking. Let them wonder what you're up to while you're building something they can't ignore. When you seek validation from others, you give them power over your life. You start adjusting your path to please them instead of following your purpose. And here's the thing. People's opinions will change with the wind. One day they'll cheer for you, The next, they'll criticize you. If you build your confidence on their approval, you'll fall apart when their attention fades. That's why it's so important to find validation within yourself. Know your worth even when nobody else sees it. Know your purpose even when nobody believes in it. Because when you're rooted in self-belief, you become unstoppable. The world can doubt you, but you won't doubt yourself. Working in silence doesn't mean you're hiding. It means you're focusing. It means you're putting your energy where it matters most, on your growth, your skill, your discipline. Every minute you spend explaining your dreams to people who don't understand them is a minute you could have spent getting closer to your goals. You don't owe anyone a play up your progress. Let your results do the talking. When you move in silence, your success becomes your announcement. There's power in mystery, power in restraint, power in letting your actions speak louder than your words. Sometimes silence is your protection. The more people know about your plans, the more opinions and doubts they bring into your space. Everyone has advice. Everyone has something to say, but not everyone has your vision. That's why you got to protect your dream like it's sacred. Don't let the noise of others drown out the voice of your purpose. The dream was given to you, not them. It's your responsibility to nurture it quietly until it's strong enough to stand on its own. Remember, seeds grow in darkness before they reach the light. You've got to do your growing in private before you can shine in public. And let me tell you, there's nothing more powerful than shocking people with your transformation. When you've been quiet, consistent, and disciplined, the day will come when your results speak so loudly that the whole world will have no choice but to notice. People will start asking, where did you come from? And you smile because you know where you've been. You've been preparing. You've been focused. That's the difference between those who talk about success and those growth comes from within, who live it. Working in silence builds character. It teaches you patience, humility, and resilience. It separates you from those chasing attention and connects you with those chasing purpose. It allows you to grow without pressure, to fail without judgment, and to rise without distraction. Because when you're not performing for an audience, you can focus entirely on progress. You can take your time mastering your craft, improving your mindset, and strengthening your discipline. Ladies and gentlemen, stop announcing your moves. Stop waiting for applause. You don't need people to see to know you're growing. You don't need likes, follows, or approval to validate your purpose. The real ones are grinding while everyone else is posting. The real ones are silent achievers who let success make the noise. So keep your head down, keep your focus sharp, and keep working in silence. Because one day when you rise, it'll be impossible for anyone to ignore you. And they'll realize that while they were talking, you were building your empire. Ladies and gentlemen, consistency and discipline are the keys that make your results speak louder than your words. You can talk about success all day long, but if your actions don't match your talk, nothing will change. The world doesn't reward what we say. It rewards what you do repeatedly, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is what separates dreamers from doers. It's what turns potential into power and habits into results. You can have the best plans, the biggest goals, and the strongest motivation, but without discipline, you'll quit when it gets hard. Discipline means showing up when the excitement fades. It means doing what needs to be done even when you don't want to do it. That's how champions are built, not through comfort, but through consistency. See, success doesn't come from doing something great once. It comes from doing something good over and over again until it becomes great. Every small action compounds into something powerful. Every day that you stay focused, every moment that you choose discipline over distraction, you're building momentum. You might not see results right away, but that doesn't mean nothing happening. Your growth takes time. The results of your effort are like seeds. You plant them with your work today, and they bloom later when the time is right. The problem is most people give up before they ever see the harvest. They expect instant results, and when they don't come, they quit. But those who stay consistent, those who keep showing up day after day eventually reap rewards beyond what they imagine. Discipline is not about perfection. It's about persistence. It's not about being the best all the time. It's about refusing to quit. Every time you choose to keep going when it's hard, you're strengthening your willpower. You're training your mind to push past comfort because comfort is the enemy of progress. Growth begins where comfort ends. The days you don't feel like working, the moment you want to quit, Those are the exact times that define you. That's when discipline speaks the loudest, because anyone can be motivated when things are easy, but it takes a different kind of strength to stay consistent when it's not. Consistency builds credibility not just with others, but with yourself. Every time you follow through on what you said you do, you build trust in yourself. You prove to yourself that stay committed to your path, your word means something. And when you believe in your own consistency, your confidence grows. That's when people start noticing. That's when your results start speaking louder than anything you could ever say. You won't have to convince people that you're serious. They'll see it in your work ethic, in your progress, and the way you move. Success doesn't need to be announced. It reveals itself through discipline and persistence. There's something powerful about being consistent when no one's watching. It builds character. It teaches you humility and patience. It separates the pretenders from the contenders. Everyone wants the spotlight, but few want the grind that comes before it. But that grind is where your greatness is forged. It's in the early mornings, the late nights, the quiet work that no one applauds. That's where discipline lives. That's where transformation happens. You got to remember that success isn't about intensity. It's about longevity. Anybody can go hard for a week. Anybody can get motivated for a month. But the real winners are the ones who keep showing up year after year, even when nobody's paying attention. They don't stop when they're tired. They stop when the job is done. And when you live with that kind of discipline, you don't have to speak for yourself anymore. Your work becomes your voice. Your results become your proof. Ladies and gentlemen, stop telling people what you're going to do. Show them through consistency. Stop explaining your dreams. Demonstrate them through discipline. The more consistent you are, the more unstoppable you become. Because success doesn't respond to words, it responds to action. Every single day you stay committed. Every single day you stay disciplined. You're writing the story of your success. And when that story is finally told, it'll speak louder than any words you could ever say. Ladies and gentlemen, success shocks those who doubted you when you rise through focus and persistence. The truth is nothing silences doubt louder than results. You don't have to argue with people who don't believe in you. You don't have to defend yourself to those who question your vision. Just keep working, keep grinding, and let your success do the talking. Because when you stay focused on your goals and remain consistent in your pursuit, the very people who once laughed at you will be the same ones clapping for you. You see, people always doubt what they can't see, and they can't see your vision because it was given to you, not them. That's why your focus must stay firm no matter what others say. Your disbelief doesn't define your destiny. Your determination does. There will always be people who underestimate you, who call your dreams unrealistic, who tell you to settle for less. They'll say you're aiming too high or moving too slow. But what they don't understand is that success isn't about how fast you move. It's about how long you can keep going. The ones who make it to the top aren't always the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who never gave up. Persistence is a bridge between failure and success. Every time you push through rejection, every time shock everyone with your success, you keep going after being told no. Every time you keep showing up when nobody believes you, that's persistence. That's how you rise. See, when people doubt you, that's energy. You can either waste it by arguing or you can use it as fuel. Use their doubt to drive you. Let it remind you of what you're working toward. Let it push you harder, keep you sharper, and make you hungrier. Because the sweetest feeling in the world is proving them wrong without saying a word. That's why focus is so powerful. It allows you to stay centered when life tries to distract you. Focus keeps you grounded when people try to shake you. Focus reminds you why you started when quitting feels easier. When you have focus and persistence working together, you become unstoppable. Your journey will not be easy. There will be setbacks, disappointments, and seasons of struggle. But every setback is preparation for your comeback. Every obstacle is shaping your strength. The more you endure, the stronger you become. Persistence is not about never falling. It's about never staying down. It's about getting up one more time than life knocks you down. Because eventually, those small steps, those quiet sacrifices, and those sleepless nights will add up. One day, people will look at your success and think it happened overnight, but you'll know it didn't. You'll know the years of effort, the moments of doubt, the times you wanted to quit but didn't. And that's what will make your victory even sweeter. The best part about shocking people with your success is not revenge. It's revelation. It's showing them that belief beats opinion, that discipline beats doubt. You don't have to prove them wrong out of anger. Just let your success reveal what persistence can do. People might not clap for you now, but one day they'll have no choice but to respect you because results speak louder than any rumor, any criticism, or any judgment. Success demands attention. It makes the same people who ignored you want to know your secret. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your focus tight and your persistence strong. The journey will test you, but if you stay the course, you'll rise higher than anyone expected. Let your actions speak. Let your consistency echo. And let your results shout so loud that they silence every doubt. Because when you rise through focus and persistence, you don't just shock everyone, you inspire them. You become living proof that no amount of doubt can stop a determined heart. Ladies and gentlemen, your journey is yours alone. And when you focus on yourself, the world has no choice but to notice. Too often, people get distracted trying to live someone else's story, chasing someone else's dream, or copying someone else's path. But the truth is, no one can walk your road for you. Nobody can feel your struggles, fight your battles, or carry your dreams the way you can. You were given a unique purpose, a specific vision that only you can bring to life. The moment you realize that your journey is personal, you stop seeking approval and start seeking progress. You stop trying to fit Steve Harvey's life advice into places you were never meant to belong. And you start walking confidently in your own direction. Every person's journey is different. Some rise fast, others rise slow. Some face storms early, others face them later. But in every story, there's one common thread. Those who win are the ones who stay focused on their own path. You can't compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. The success doesn't take away from yours. What's meant for you will always find its way to you, but only if you stay focused long enough to receive it. The world will try to distract you. People will question your decisions, criticize your moves, and doubt your potential. But remember, their opinion is not your direction. You are not here to meet their expectations. You are here to fulfill your purpose. When you focus on yourself, something powerful happens. You begin to grow from within. You stop needing the world to tell you who you are. You start defining yourself through your actions, your discipline, and your growth. You start realizing that peace comes from progress, not approval. That joy comes from purpose, not popularity. You begin to understand that your lane is sacred. The more time you spend worrying about what others are doing, the less time you have to build what's yours. Stay in your lane, trust your pace, and keep moving forward. Every small step you take is progress, even when it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes focusing on yourself means walking alone. It means losing people who don't align with your growth. It means letting go of distractions, of comfort, of things that no longer serve you. That's the part that scares most people, the isolation. But what they don't realize is that isolation is often elevation in disguise. When you're alone, you can hear your thoughts clearly. You can strengthen your faith, refine your goals, and reconnect with your vision. The solitude that feels lonely at first will eventually become your sanctuary, the space where you build the best version of yourself. And when you do that, when you focus on becoming the best you possible, you start to glow differently. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to prove it. People will see it. They'll see the confidence, the peace, the purpose, and the strength radiating from you. They'll start to wonder what changed, but you'll know the answer. You changed your focus. You started chasing people and started chasing progress. You stopped trying to be seen and started trying to be better. Your journey is your responsibility. Nobody owes you belief, support, or understanding, but you owe it to yourself to give everything you have to the life you were meant to live. You owe it to yourself to stay focused, to stay disciplined, and to never give up, no matter how hard it gets. Because when you focus only on yourself, when you stay true to your path and keep pushing forward, something incredible happens. The world begins to notice. People start to respect the same person they once doubted. The world starts to listen to the one it once ignored. That's the beauty of focus. It turns silence into power, struggle as strength, and dreams into reality. Ladies and gentlemen, your journey is not a competition. It's a calling. Stay focused on your path. Trust your process and keep becoming who you're meant to be. When you focus only on yourself and give your all to your growth, the world won't just notice, you'll inspire.